Howdy there, folks. Scooter here, and welcome to the Dusk to Dawn Saloon. What's going on in this place? Well, let me tell you, we're on the last part of the Bago Bash 2025 series. I want to thank you all for watching them, and we're wrapping it up with a good one, folks. We got David Gorham. He's Mr. High Life, and this guy is the life of the party. David and I just met this year, and we actually met through messaging on Facebook. I was reaching out for some help on some things, and he and I got to talking, and he's become a buddy of mine now. And this was the first time I got to sit down with him and just talk about Miller stuff. And this is a great interview. There's lots of good stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a part 2 to this because this guy has a plethora of information to share, and we got to get it out to you. So, you know the drill. Pull up a stool, crack a cold one. Let's dive right in. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dusk to Dawn Saloon. I'm here with David Gorham.
Hey, man.
How you doing, buddy?
Glad to be here.
Yeah, we're in the dark underbelly of the Bird's Nest in Winnebago, Minnesota. What do you think of this place?
Been here a lot of times. It's always a great time.
It's a hoot. You just can't beat this place. So this guy is known as Mr. High Life.
That's what they call me.
I think you probably earned that name, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. So you're a Miller guy. Now, are you just High Life, or are you a guru of Miller history?
Mostly High Life.
Mostly High Life?
Hence the name Mr. High Life versus Mr. Miller.
Okay. But I bet you know some Miller history.
I do.
I don't know a lot of Miller history. I mean, I'm a Hamm's man. Everybody knows I'm biased.
Right.
Which, currently Molson Coors, Miller, whatever.
They brew hams in Milwaukee at the Miller plant.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that.
So we're brothers.
Hell yeah.
What can you tell me about the beginnings of Miller?
The founder of the brewery actually bought the brewery from, I believe it was Jacob Best in the 1855 or so.
Okay.
He learned the brewing trade in Old Country, Germany, came to the U.S. with his dowry, and I think he traveled around a few parts of the country before he settled on the Milwaukee area. They had a lot of fresh water and right close to Lake Michigan for exporting and whatnot, and bought the brewery and just built it up.
How big did they become? In those olden days, how big were they? Were they nationwide? Were they just local? Do you know?
There were 4 major breweries in Milwaukee: Miller, Schlitz, Pabst, and Blatz.
Okay. All
German names. Go figure.
It seems everybody that brewed beer came from Germany, it seems like.
Pretty well. And in the early days, I believe Schlitz had the greatest output. But all 4 of the brewers, of course, they started local. In those earlier days, Chicago was their biggest market for all of them, Miller included.
Really?
Just because the location, the close.
Now hold on a second. We're talking Wisconsin, man. We're the drunkest state in the country.
A lot of people in Chicago area.
Yeah, I suppose.
Back then there were a lot of blue collar workers.
Sure. Well,
dock workers.
We were building the infrastructure of this country back then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. But and as far as brewery output, Miller might have been number 1 of those 4 at some time, but Miller, especially High Life, the champion of beers, that was born on New Year's Eve in 1803. Originally, it was put in a champagne-shaped bottle, and that helped with the naming of it.
Okay, so it was a sales gimmick?
Everybody's got a gimmick. You got to try to sell your product.
What was their first logo like? Was it like, excuse me, I just don't know the knowledge on this, or have the knowledge on this, but is it called the Iron Cross? The red kind of looks like a bow tie. That was 60s. I know it was in the 60s.
Okay, that was the Soft Cross.
Soft Cross.
That came around in the early 50s.
Okay.
It was a Milwaukee area artist, last name of Brooks. Brooks Stevens, I believe it was. Was it Stevens Brooks?
Whoa, either way.
Legend has it that he also designed the first Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Really?
But he designed that Soft Cross for Miller High Life, which is iconic nowadays. I mean, the current rendition
It's
is
my
right
favorite.
here.
It's my favorite thing about High Life. Finding an old High Life sign with that badge on it.
But
I'm skipping ahead here, and I don't mean to.
before that, they used like a trapezoidal label.
Okay.
And we've got pictures here we can look at.
Can you pull some stuff out? What do you got for me here? You come here packed with a bag full of ephemera.
I did. We're talking about old logos. This is a Miller merchandiser from 1939. And on the back is a beer bottle from that era.
Oh, okay. I remember this now. Oh, and is it the Lady on the Moon?
Yes. Girl in the Moon,
Girl
Lady in the Moon.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
Iconic.
iconic. Yes, she is one of the more famous women of all time.
Huh.
And this would have been a guidebook for the salesman, the distribution regional managers to take to other distributors and also to private businesses.
Okay.
And it was kind of a guidebook and also a catalog of some point of sale items. Obviously, in the 30s, this was from 39.
Wow.
War was looming for the U.S.
1939?
Yes, sir.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
What a piece of history you got there.
And so, the different items are varied. This doesn't have a price on it. That's a taxi cab sign. It's not a Gilco, but they go for
Let's show the camera
They
here,
go for thousands of dollars nowadays.
Now, is that like a reverse on glass?
Yes, it
kind of
is.
thing?
Yes, double convex. It's got curves to both sides. It's like a baby Gilco, but it's by a different manufacturer.
Huh.
My example at home doesn't have that. I can't find a manufacturer.
And that went on a taxi cab.
They called it the taxi light because of the shape. It resembled the shape of the light on the top of
This is why I've talked to you
checker
guys.
bag. Yeah.
Holy
It's
cow.
checker caps. Here's another one. This is they call it a button sign because it's round, but it's curved. It's called a corner porcelain sign, right? They would put these on the outside of the building on a corner so traffic from this direction and traffic from 90 degrees could see it.
Sure, that makes sense.
Bang for your buck. They put it on the corner of the intersection, corner of the building. Now, back when, this would cost the business $1.60 each, which in 39 was a good chunk of change.
Yeah.
But in the collector's market now, a good one of these can bring $2 to $3 grand.
Let me see this. Just to get a better picture of it here.
And that would have been done in red, white, and black.
Okay.
And I have one of these at home, too.
Did they always maintain the same color, kind of,
Colors changed a bit. So
Okay.
the prints were obviously in black and white. But compared
We got the green.
Compare this from 39's bottle with the current can.
Sure.
And the current bottles are pretty well the same. I think they have a front-facing girl in the moon on the neck label of a modern bottle.
Okay.
And, well, that was a little different back then. But, again, iconic.
That's awesome.
The earliest version of the girl, she was standing on a beer crate. Side view, and she had a whip. And people would say that she was modeled after a circus performer, like a lady lion tamer, so to speak.
You cannot beat this old advertising.
It's good stuff.
You look at, we can create these amazing things with computers and all this design programs.
These are done with pens and paper and
a little bit of
ingenious.
ingenuity.
Yes, sir.
Man,
And, you collect also
I collect everything.
this kind of stuff. That's our time machine.
It is.
It's the best thing you can get to a time machine.
It is, and it's history. And every time I save a beer sign, I say I'm saving history.
Exactly.
What brought you to the Miller brand?
I drank it when I was younger.
So that was it. It wasn't Dad, Grandpa. It was just you found that.
No,
That's
it was me and my buddies. Yeah, that's what we kind of gravitated to. And then I started collecting in the late 90s. My first item was a newer light-up electric Miller High Life clock. Had the girl in the moon. It was kind of keyhole shaped. The round on the top of the clock, and then tapered, and then had the advertising logo there. Made out of plastic and a little metal, and it was maybe $50, but I thought it was cool. It was the beer I drank. It was item 1.
Do you still have it?
I do. And now thousands of items later, here I am.
How many items do you think you have for Miller? Are you only collect Miller, correct?
More or less.
Okay, so you do have a few kind of off.
When I first started collecting, I was like, oh, this Moosehead mirror is cool.
Yeah, I've got a Beck's mirror I thought was really awesome at first. Now it's in my workshop, and I'm like, I probably can't get anybody to buy the Beck's mirror.
You know what? We're at the 6th annual Bago Bash.
We are.
I sold that Moosehead mirror today.
Are you kidding?
Because I don't have room for my Miller stuff.
Well, I've
got more on the floor than on the walls.
I understand.
And the walls are
I think several people on here understand as well.
Yeah.
So you had a sign here today. I believe it's 50s, late 50s, and it's a motion sign, and it's the High Life on tap. It's got, the tap handle on the top, and it's got the tapered flared Pilsner with the pedestal base on it, and stemmed. And there's how many versions of that sign? We were talking about this earlier, but I can't remember. I know I had the on tap version. I sold it, and it's one of those signs I wish I never got rid of.
Oh, they're out there.
Well, they are.
So, like other Miller signs, like Hamm signs, to cut costs, to make an effective ad campaign, these companies would use the same sign and have different inserts. So they're all variations. The sign you're referring to is from the 60s.
Okay. And
there were 4 variations of that. There were the on-tap one that I sold that yesterday.
Okay.
And there was a bottle, horizontal bottle pouring into the glass.
That's the one I had.
Okay.
That's the one. It didn't have the tap knob. It had the horizontal bottle.
Now, each of those variations had 2 different sayings. One was, Miller makes it right, ! The other one said, sparkling, flavorful, distinctive.
Okay.
So 2 of each, so 4 total variations of that particular curbside sign.
What would be another iconic sign from that era? Because that seems like when signs
from the
really
60s?
Yeah,
they did the big boys. I still got the one for sale. Hint, hint.
This guy, he knows. Just keep poking.
And then that was 3 feet by 15 inches and probably 6 inches deep.
That's a bouncing ball.
Bouncer, yep.
Yeah.
And of that horizontal one, there were 2 variations. They had the bouncing on one side and the slogan on the other. And there's a marquee. You could put your lettered message with your plastic stamp-in letters.
Okay.
In the other version, the bouncing ball is on this side, and the phrase is Miller makes it right is on the other side. 2 of those, and then the third sign that went with the set is vertically orientated. It's like a 4x3, so the orientation of a sheet of paper.
I got
in a book. And again, it had the bouncing ball. That one didn't have the marquee spot to put your bar, your tavern's name or whatnot. But they were all 3 sold together. And actually, Miller had a booklet that the salesman used because those signs were expensive to make back in the day. And Miller wanted to get the most bang for their buck. So they weren't going to put them in a business and have them just kind of on in the corner back here. This booklet had the reseller get the best business gain from having that signage. So it showed you where to display them. Just try to help them succeed. It was all in it together.
How many do you recall? Like, I'm a big fan of back bar signs.
Yeah.
Those, the reverse on glass.
That taxi cab would be a bar back, yep.
How many of those did they make? They make several. I mean, everybody had quite a, had a handful at least. Those I don't see too many of. Are they pretty hard to come by? Or am I just not looking in the right places? Maybe I'm too busy looking at Hamms.
I might have bar back signs of different styles because some were lighted, some were, like I've got a couple that are layered painted cardboard. So they're die cut cardboard. It's about 8 layers deep. And it's painted and it's got a decal over the front. Those were from the 30s. One of them is in this book. I have 2 different variations of those in my collection.
Wow.
But then again, there's some lighter ones like that taxi cab sign that we looked in the book. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I have 1, 2, 3 reverse on glass bar back mirror pieces.
Okay.
So yeah, a wide variety.
Are you a guy that the older the better, or just how much you love it?
Well, instant eye appeal means a lot. If it's cool and the price is right, yeah, it might come home with me.
All right.
But like you were alluding to before, the older stuff is cooler than the newer stuff. And I think that crosses brands. From cars to Miller High Life to Hamm's.
It's made so different now compared to what it was. Yep. And the thought, as we said earlier, the thought that went into it, it was a different set of eyes, the way they did things back then.
I'm a sucker for Art Deco.
Yeah.
You think of the times back in the roaring 20s. Sure, Prohibition was going on, but that didn't do a whole lot.
You mentioned Prohibition. I mean, Hamm's, several beer companies, they had to survive through Prohibition. What did Miller do?
They did some tonics and, non-alcoholic drinks.
Did they do sodas? I know Hamm's did sodas.
Miller Ginger Ale, very tough label to get.
I've never even heard of that.
I have a picture on my phone.
You don't have one of them yet.
I have one of those.
You do?
It's a folder at home.
Oh, I thought it was just a picture.
My phone's back in the camper playing Bluetooth music for the crowd.
Well, there's priorities. That's interesting. I didn't know. Did they just do ginger ale? Did they do other flavors? Or
they had a couple other beverages. One was called Vivo, V-I-V-O. I have one of those bottles. And what else do they have? They had a couple malt tonics. All those aren't dated though. And Miller, I'm sure other brands did also. Pre-Prohibition, they did like a malt syrup. It was like a liquid cereal.
Interesting. It sounds terrible.
It was supposed to be healthy. And they also did some other non-alcoholic beverages. And you'll see, I think I have one of these pieces with me. Has a drink menu. And I think it has some NA on there also.
What's your favorite era of Miller? Obviously old. We've discussed
right now, it's the one in my hand. No, favorite era.
Like sign-wise, when it comes to a lighted sign, what do you find your favorite signs to be from?
From the 30s to the 50s.
You're really stuck in there.
That was a golden age.
I agree.
They had a lot of cool stuff.
As a guy that loves Ballantines and Hamm's, you just can't beat that stuff. Ballantines stuff, 40s, 50s, 60s. Man, you can't beat the motion signs. Those ROGs and oh gosh, they're gorgeous.
Good to look at.
They're cool. And again, I am the only Ballantine collector in the entire Midwest, I think. If you are a Ballantine collector in the Midwest, please reach out because I need a friend. Everybody goes, Scooter, you collect this stuff. And I'm like, man, it's so cool.
Is there a Ballantines Facebook group?
You know what? I don't think I've actually looked for one.
You could start one, brother.
I could. I'd be one member, maybe. I don't know.
City was built in a day? No.
You know what? They were a top 5 brewer in the nation in their day. They were.
Wow.
Ballantines was huge, and it just exploded. And same thing, German immigrant, 1860s came around. I believe he passed away. His sons took over. It's kind of a similar story with Rar's beer out of Green Bay.
Okay.
It's kind of same thing. It's funny. It all comes from over there. You got a newspaper with you.
Oh, I got a few goodies. I don't know how much time.
Oh, we're good. We're good. What else did you bring?
So
it's like show and tell.
These are a couple of my favorite ephemera pieces. Ephemera.
Yeah.
So Fred Miller was the founder of the company, Frederick A.
Okay.
So before it became Miller Brewing, it was Fred Miller Brewing. And this is a late 1800s.
Oh my gosh.
That was like a company just to buy our products. It was a self-promotional booklet.
And he's in a German Stein. Go figure that.
Well, for one, this was when Budweiser was a style of beer, not a brand. It was a traditional Czechoslovakian style. I believe it was a lager. But it was a style of beer. Miller Budweiser.
It is pure, thoroughly aged and nourishing. All prominent physicians all over the country have enthusiastically recommended it in their practice.
Recommended by doctors everywhere, folks. In the 1800s. But look at the iconic.
I mean, this is... I hope the phone catches it here. Oh my gosh. That's very dark.
That's for Bach season. They did a Bach beer.
Okay.
So this is before High Life came around. They did other styles of beer because he had gone to beer school in Germany in the 1800s.
We never show a selfish trail, leeward our foreign brothers, and therefore send our export beer to the birthplace of our mothers. Wow, that's interesting.
Very poetic.
Wow, look at that artwork. That is just... Okay, get this out of my hands before I get it wet or something. What else do you bring me?
Kind of nifty. So this has a date on it. November 4th, 5th, and 6th, 1905. Souvenir bill of fare commemoration of the grand opening of Charles Darrell's Cafe and Restaurant. Address, State Street. So that's in Milwaukee. And look at the back. This is from 1905. To think what an individual restaurant would pay to make this die-cut bill of fare. I mean, they didn't do things on computers back then. This was hand set. And then there's a menu in there. And it's just, this is a history book, all of itself.
I like it. Whiskey, 15 cents. Brandy, 15 cents. What's... Oh, wait, hold on. Sub Rose. I don't know what that is. Absinthe.
Heck yeah.
Holy cow. That was a while ago.
1905. This one's dated, which is kind of cool. Not all things, I don't know about other brands, but the actual point of sale items that Miller did, some have dates, some do not. Most all of them have a form number, F-number.
This is from Chase Jacob?
Charles.
Okay.
CHAS period, yeah.
I take this occasion to thank you for liberal patronage bestowed upon me in the past. After having been established in this location for but a very few years, I find the accommodations too small to properly meet the demands made. Large additional space has been secured, which has been entirely rebuilt and remodeled for cafe purposes, and it will be my aim at all times in the future to merit the confidence of the public in every respect. The restaurant and cafe will always be found a welcome stopping place for ladies and gentlemen. Parties large or small will find first-class service at all times, and your patronage for any special occasion is solicited. Very respectfully, Charles Jacob. Man.
How classy is that?
Look at that. This is amazing.
I've never seen another one of these. The first one, there's maybe a few out there, but I've never seen another one. What a survivor. It's 120 years old.
The purchase of a piano means one of two things: permanent satisfaction or early discord and the lasting disappointment.
I don't have a piano.
Oh my goodness.
And then there's a few pages with beers and dinner prices, beer prices.
It doesn't have any peanut butter whiskey in here. It just says whiskey. I guess they didn't have that fancy stuff back then.
That's when men drank whiskey. They made whiskey for men and ladies with character.
There you go.
So there's a couple nice things.
That's very cool. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
I feel like Mr. Rogers over here.
No, it's all good. You were asking about the newspaper.
Yes. What is this? Now that looks like a brewery building to me.
So Fred A. Miller started the company in 1855. He bought the brewery from Jacob Pabst, I believe his name, and started building it. But when you start from the ground level with the mid-1800s technology, I mean, they carved caves and they sawed ice blocks from Lake Michigan, hauled them with horses into these beer caves, and that's where they stored the wooden kegs of unpasteurized beer with ice and sawdust. Then when they load the beer on the rail cars, again, they would use the blocks of ice and sawdust to transport the unpasteurized beer.
The sawdust was the insulation, I assume.
Yeah. Yep. So advances in production output were slowly to increase.
Okay.
In the late 40s and in early 50s, Frederick C. Miller, grandson and namesake of the founder of the company, did a lot of investing. It was post-World War II. The U.S. economy was booming. Baby boomers, everything was looking up. So he did a big expansion to the brewery in Milwaukee. And now it wasn't quite to the centennial yet, but this is an edition of the Milwaukee Sentinel from Wednesday, July 20th, 1949. And it's commemorating the grand expansion. And this building still stands in Miller Valley in Milwaukee today. Big expansion. I didn't read up, Jason, I didn't read about the change in output, but it was big. And one of the two newspapers, the other was, I believe, the Milwaukee Journal. I have, the Journal. We'll get to that in a minute.
Sure.
Sentinel did a special because they were a big employer in town. And this was just a feel-good paper. This is founder, Frederick A. Miller. It was just a feel-good special edition paper. Given the old attaboy.
This whole paper is Miller.
Pretty much.
Wow.
This is Frederick C. This is a little foreshadowing. So you look a football player here?
Yes.
He played for Notre Dame.
Really?
I'll tell the rest of the story in a second.
Okay.
But, it's a little raggedy.
Well,
It's
almost as old as you.
Oh, or you. But it's, a thank you. These vats are still used. If you take the Miller tour, we should have a table.
The world famous Miller girl.
Yep. And this is a gal dressed up in the costume. But this is all ads taken out by local businesses and contractors that acknowledgement, thank you, best of luck, etc., etc. Because with this expansion, not only were a lot of contractors employed in the building of it, but expansion of the brewery meant more jobs.
Sure.
Fred C. Miller was the town's favorite son at that time. He rubbed elbows with Lawrence Welk. They had a long-standing contract with the Lawrence Welk Show.
Wow.
He was also in good with the owner of the Boston Braves. And he was instrumental in bringing pro baseball to Milwaukee in the early 50s. The Braves moved from Boston to Milwaukee. That's where Hank Aaron got his start in pro ball. The Milwaukee Braves. They built County Stadium, and that was what later became the Brewers when the Braves franchise moved to Atlanta in the 60s. And Milwaukee got a new franchise, the Brewers, and they played at County Stadium until 2000, I believe.
Wow. I thought you only knew a little bit about Miller history.
Baseball. I do. Oh, you said only. So let's talk about Fred C. Miller.
Yes.
If you'd like.
I would love to.
So grandson of the founder, a real underachiever. Case in point, he was All-American team captain for tackle. He played offensive tackle for the University of Notre Dame. This is a photographic copy of the brochure. Notre Dame beat Army 6-3 at Yankee Stadium in 1928. This is just a screen grab picture from Walmart because the actual program would be $1,000 or more.
I figured you'd have two of them.
That would be cool. Right, yeah, exactly. So it so happens that one of their teammates from Notre Dame, his last name was Gip. He got appendicitis or he was down and out for the big game at Yankee Stadium. I forget where Army is based at, but Notre Dame, they are in, is that Chicago area? Where's Notre Dame at? They're not in New York City.
I don't remember.
This was a premier game at Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
The original. So Gip had appendicitis or broke his leg or something. He was in the hospital. He couldn't be with the team. So before the game, they all went to visit him and wished him well. And he wished him well in their game against Army. Because this was a national covered game.
Okay.
And hence became the saying, let's win one for the Gipper.
Oh!
That's where that came from. Under Coach Newt Rockney, the Four Horsemen.
Yep.
Fred C. Miller, All-American team captain. Win one for the Gipper game.
No kidding.
What a slacker.
Huh.
He brought pro baseball to Milwaukee. He had the big expansion and played a lot of people. Was tight with Lawrence Welk. Doesn't get much better than that.
Wow. That's pretty darn cool.
So this was his college football picture.
Okay.
This is a photograph of him just a little later in life. I don't know if that's probably a reprinted photograph, but
Sure. Well, he looks like he's in his 20s, maybe.
you could say, yeah. So now, he's getting a feeling for the family business. I forget the exact role, hierarchy of who was running the company in between. You could look that up. I haven't taken time to memorize that. So that was his picture when he was in his 20s.
May have somebody sneaking into the underbelly of the bird's nest on us.
This is his company portrait when he was president of Miller Brewing.
Okay, he's definitely in his 40s or late 40s there.
Yep. No, this is when he was instrumental. He had built a new stadium, pro baseball, big expansion.
Wow.
He was the favorite son of Milwaukee. Tragically, on December 17th, 1954, he and his son Fred Jr. and their pilot and co-pilot of the company plane, it was a twin prop, I forget what kind of plane it was.
It was a prop plane, we know that
Twin
much.
prop.
Yeah.
In December, they were flying to Winnipeg to hunt moose.
Okay.
They're going to depart from Winnipeg, go to the lodge, but they're taking the company plane to Winnipeg. They crashed shortly after takeoff. It was now Mitchell Field in Milwaukee.
Oh.
All four died.
Wow.
I think Fred C. was still alive at the hospital, but succumbed to his injuries. This is a copy of the Milwaukee Journal from the next day. All over the headlines. And what you're holding is the funeral program. For
What?
the four of them.
Holy cows.
And that was the end of a golden age for Miller.
Wow.
It really was. With the direction and the momentum the company had when he was killed, things would have been way different now, perhaps.
Maybe.
They had a full head of steam, and then,
Wow.
of course, the company kept on, but a real footnote in the whole Miller history books.
Wow.
And
Senior and junior.
this, again, I don't know how many of these survived, but there's a lot of pictures from days gone by. Miller was athlete, sportsman, civic, and industrial leader. So a lot of old
Maybe
pictures.
show that picture here to the camera.
A lot of old pictures were
Well,
posted
that's
in
the
this.
crash there. That's
Yeah.
the wreckage from the crash.
And you know, these old papers, it was the headline. That's the headline.
Man, that's a piece of history right there. Holy cows.
I forget where I got this, maybe eBay, but I don't own it. I'm just a caretaker. I'm saving history.
Exactly.
Because how many of these survived? There's a real story to be told there. And that's why we collect.
There's
because
so
of
much. I'd never.
because of the stories told.
So what happened after this? Where did they go after that? 'Cause 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 ' You want to borrow my glasses?
I've got
I don't have them with me. Never mind.
Norman Klug, I think. Yeah, I remembered. New President's Report from Norman Klug.
To Miller employees.
Well, let's give credit where credit's due, though. The publication dedicated to the memory of Frederick C. Miller Sr., Frederick C. Miller Jr., Joseph J. Laird, Paul Laird. They were brothers, a pilot and co-pilot. They were both World War II vets for the Air Force, I believe. And this is their memorial. Frederick C., his son, I forget how old he was. What do you say he looked there? In his 20s?
Well, 34 to 54.
That's the son, though.
That's 20.
Does it say the age?
At least 20.
He was 20. Okay, I'm looking upside down. A dashing young lad. Think of the future he had.
Man.
His dad was building his family's company in a huge direction. Life cut short. And then they also included because they were company pilots in their Air Force uniforms. I imagine it was perhaps icing. I never really delved into how the crash came about.
That's Joseph.
Yep. His brother Paul.
Paul was 34. Joseph was 40.
So 34 and 54.
Wow.
They'd been in World War II. 20 and 44. 2021 when the war ended. And then there's a give each of them a thousands voice for sorrow for Miller and a lot of condolences and fond memories. And then we got New President's Report to Miller employees. Following is a copy of the talk given by the new president of the Miller Brewing Company, Norman R. Klug, to approximately 400 employees Wednesday, December 22nd, 1954. So 5 days after.
Got to keep business going.
Yeah, because you know what? Hundreds of people are relying on that paycheck.
That's right. Man, you've got some pretty awesome stuff there.
This is a couple of little trinkets I have.
Couple trinkets.
A couple of knickknacks. I've got stacks of crap at home.
This is amazing. Like Miller, I was just, it's Miller.
Every company has a story, though, right?
Yes.
I mean, you could tell me stuff about, what's that off-brand you collect? Valentine?
Yes.
It's a B, right? Not a V?
Correct. It's not Frasier.
Right.
A TV show, I think they changed it to Valentine.
Oh, sure. They don't want to pay the fee, right? But again, I started collecting Miller because I liked the beer, and the more I got into it, I was like peeling off layers on an onion. Like, oh, this is cool. And I got one bottle opener. It's like, what else do they have? When I first started collecting, I live in western Minnesota. Not really a hotbed for Milwaukee-based breweriana.
Sure.
eBay was the way. And I collected a lot of my good stuff I got when prices were somewhat sane in the earlier days of eBay. Of course, now we've got these awesome beer groups that we're in, the clubs.
Yes.
And you do the room-to-room at the conventions and trade shows like we had here today in Winnebago. As well as, there's a Facebook marketplace. And one thing I found, I'm sure you can relate. People know you collect Valentine's. I'm known as Mr. High Life. I'll have a cool item sent to me by friends in the club. They'll send me the link on Messenger. Some things I've gotten 4 or 5 different buddies sending me, hey, did you see this?
Yeah.
Or I got a buddy that's maybe going to sell this.
You're like, I've got 2 of them, or, hey, maybe I need that. Maybe I need that.
I got an item today from Kirk Schnitker that I'd never seen before.
Kirk Schnitker created the Hamm's Club, I believe, in 1999.
99, yep. And Kirk, we were at the Raddit's Brewing Crew 2 weeks ago. He said, you collect Miller, huh? So I might have something for you. Okay. I kind of forgot about it because Kirk, he bailed out.
Yeah,
We were at-
he left you guys at the bar.
We were at the supper club doing a meat raffle.
He's going to be going, I did not.
And we asked Loveless, where did he go? I'm not his babysitter. Kirk messaged me yesterday. So yeah, I got that thing that we talked about. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'd forgotten about the conversation. So he didn't follow up. He left. So he showed me the pictures and he said, are you going to be at Bago Bash? I said, yeah, we're here already. Yeah. Okay. So well, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. We talked about a price and he brought it today. I've never seen this item before. It's in a camper.
But you didn't. You told him there was 100 of them out there, and they're not worth anything, right?
No, I think I said, that's neat, or kept my cards close, but I wanted to. It's like I'm interested, but I wasn't going to do backflips because that drives the price up.
You know what?
I don't know Kirk, but he gave me a real fair price.
Kirk would be happy to have it in the person's hands that's going to appreciate it most. That's how Kirk is.
He came in the camper after we did the deal. He came in the camper and drank a bunch of my beer, and we looked at this stuff, and he was like,
well, he got his extra money out of your cooler. Is what
oh
you're
my
saying.
God. He's another one that appreciates the story.
He is.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Story is a huge part of history.
Story is history.
Pretty much. So he appreciated that. He thanked me for showing him some stuff that he didn't know about Miller. So now I made a new collector buddy. So he said, yeah, I've been working with this guy. I knew this guy. He passed away. His widow's got some of his stuff, but she's having a hard time letting it go because it's for her, it's a memory tied to her husband.
100%. It's
That wound is
emotional.
still raw. Yep. But he said, I know he's got some good Miller stuff. If I can start breaking the ice with her a little more, she wants to part with some things, he said, I'll keep you in mind.
That's fantastic. That's what this hobby's about. We help each other.
Hey, with Kirk, today was a good day to make a new friend.
Yeah.
That's what this is
He's
about.
a good friend to have. He's a good guy. He's a real good guy.
You know, in that same light, like Barry Travis is another one.
You can't beat that guy.
Barry has hooked me up with
National hero.
he's hooked me up with
Barry Travis.
He's hooked me up with some cool stuff.
Mark Casella, who is a newer collector, been in about a year and a half.
Yep.
He was in New York, and he's just gung-ho. And I believe he
He's
was
making up for lost time.
Well, I did the same thing, and I've tried to tell him, man, stop and breathe. But he was in, I believe, New York, and he met a guy on Marketplace because he's perusing the Marketplace while he's there.
Guilty.
And he's going, yeah. I go, oh, yeah, I know some Hamm's guys. Oh, you know Steve Miner now. You know Scooter now. You know this. You know Barry Travis. Oh, Barry. He's the one that draws those custom artwork pieces for everybody.
Barry got me another one today, or this weekend.
You're a lucky guy.
I got 4 or 5 of them. Sometimes they'll just show up in the mail.
Yeah, I got
That's
3
the
of them.
that's the kind of guy Barry is.
Barry actually stopped by when I was in my antique store one day.
Okay.
And left me Schmidt advertising and says, Scooter,
Hand drawn
I left you a present.
or an actual.
Well, no, he left
point-of-sale
me
piece?
all sorts of, he went to an auction and bought all sorts of Schmidt stuff and just left
Yeah.
it for me and said, here you go. Just helping people out. Barry was an integral part of me being in this hobby as deep as it is.
Cool.
And he probably doesn't know that. But I brought home, new into the hobby, I think my first beer sign was December 26th of 2022. Now, I did have Hamm stuff 10 years prior to that. Okay, but it was not like, it was just, it was jokes. Everybody gave it to me as a joke because like, how can you drink Hamms? And I'm like,
oh, really?
It cost me $0.25 if I knock it over. I'm not out of the money. Anyway.
There's not a lot of difference in taste.
No,
there is a difference, but
this is clearly better.
They're both a very drinkable beer.
But I found myself in this situation with a barn it was a 45 by 60 foot barn.
This was a massive collection. You were overwhelmed?
The dad collected.
Okay.
And then the son inherited, and the son passed away. And when I was talked to about it, they said, well, the siblings have been fighting, or, the kids were fighting over it, and the siblings were having arguments over what to do with dad's collection.
Okay.
Well, when I got there, the siblings were in their mid-70s.
Oh, my goodness.
So I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know Boo from Boo in this place.
Yeah.
And I literally, Barry Travis and Stephen Miner, both, saved me. I called Steve because I couldn't get a hold of Barry. I called Steve. I said, Steve, what do I take? I don't know beer cans. I don't know beer bottles. So Steve literally, I had him on video chat with horrible signal cutting in and out. And he's going, pull that bottle, Scooter, pull that bottle, pull that.
Tell you what to grab.
And I got him home and I posted on the Hamm's page and I said, I don't know what I got myself into, but holy cows. I just brought home 10,000 beer cans. I brought home 30 or 40 cases of bottles.
Yeah.
Every different, like we're looking at Big Bird's collection behind us here, but it was like this.
A lot of returnable cases here.
A lot of stuff. And
an awesome thing.
Barry Travis says, why don't you give me a call on Messenger? And I think we were on the phone for 2 hours and Barry going, putting this in that pile, this in that pile. One of the
He was guiding you.
greatest people in this hobby.
Yep. He's very selfless.
And he can sing Prince like you wouldn't believe.
Witness to that. I'll testify.
Dave, I want to thank you for sitting down with me.
Hey, man.
Thank you for giving me a history of Miller that I never knew existed. Oh, there's more. We didn't get very far. We still got to do a part 2 to this down the road.
Sure.
I want to get into those later years.
They changed direction again.
Soft cross, correct?
They changed direction again in '69 when Philip Morris bought the company, tobacco company.
Okay, stop here. We're going to do a part 2.
To be continued.
This will be continued. It was a pleasure hanging out with you tonight.
Thanks, buddy.
It's a pleasure hanging out with you at the Bago Bash in Winnebago, Minnesota.
There's only one champagne of beers, though.
Hamm's.
What is Hamm's slogan?
Well, it's from the land of sky blue waters. It's the refreshingest, refreshing as.
Yeah.
A beer is a beer is a beer is a beer until
generic,
you've
isn't
tasted
it?
Hamm's. We've got a whole bunch of them. You just, you're.
I got jingles. I got my ringtone.
All right, folks. Time for my favorite part of the show. We're heading off to the next segment. It's time for that final toast.
It's thirsty.
Hey, welcome back to the Saloon. Thanks for sticking around and watching the video. Man, sitting with Dave, I just had a blast. And boy, did he fill me in on some things that I had no idea about. And I can't wait to sit down and do part 2 with him down the road. Philip Morris? What? Miller? What? Okay, I got to learn more about this. Hey, I'm sad to say this is the last video in the series for Bago Bash 2025. I want to thank everybody that was involved. If you were just walking by, if you just a passerby in the video and gave us a wave, thank you. If you stopped to talk to me, thank you. I loved talking to everybody in this video series, and I learned a lot, and my friendships grew, and that's more important than anything. So hey, you know what it is. It's time for that final toast. So all right, folks, I want you to raise those glasses high. It's time for that final toast. So we're going to say, to the laughs, the beer lights, and the legends who make this hobby more than just collecting. It's very connecting. And here's to the Bago Bash crew, the beer geeks, the storytellers, and the late night negotiators who swear when they're done buying right before they grab another one off the pile. And then tonight we're going to finish this series the way we started it. With friends, with the camera rolling, with a cold one in our hands. Because if this is the champagne of beers, well, this has been the champagne of shows. So cheers to Bago Bash. Till next year, you keep your shelves full, you keep your walls covered, you keep your hearts light, and you keep your high lives cold. Cheers to you all. We'll see you next time, folks. Have a good one.